I'm a bad chef. I turned on the wrong burner, so also while you're cooking, make sure that you know what's going on with your stove. Hey everyone, and welcome to week 3 of Let's Cook with RHA. My name is Kinsley Slaughter, and today we are here with the lovely Miss RHA Gabby.
Hello.
So today we are making Boujee Ramen. So I know ramen is like kind of a staple around college students. So today we're just gonna figure out a couple ways to spice it up, make it a little bit more exciting. As you can see, we're in the Pelican kitchen today. If you're an upperclassman, this will probably be a little bit easier for you guys because you guys also have stuff. Gabby's over here making kimchi. So before I have cut up some cabbage, big, I think portobello mushrooms, some red peppers, scallions, and a little bit of the white part that we'll be adding that to the broth, and some stripped skirt steak. So that is all we have right now. I also have some sriracha, soy sauce, and sesame oil. Those aren't like essential, but they're just nice for like some flavor. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead off camera and start cooking up some of the meat and get the noodles ready, and I'll be right back. We have 3 packets, but I only am going to be using 2 today. We got packets of beef, just maruchan or like top ramen noodles. Pro tip when you're cooking, when you're boiling noodles, season the water. I use like paprika, salt, pepper. I think that's it. Maybe a little bit of soy sauce later. But yeah, season the water before you boil it. I like to just break it in half, because I like long noodles. If you don't like long noodles, you can like punch the bejesus out of the bag and it should make the noodles smaller. But I just break mine because they're kind of folded over on themselves. I just break them once. So let that cook for like 8 to 10 minutes. I guess that's like medium to high heat, just to like kind of get things sauteed and going. I'm gonna start with the red peppers and the mushrooms. I'm gonna season that a little bit, and then once you got all those that tasty oil in the pan, then you start cooking your beef. And because there's already a lot of sodium in ramen, it's good to not have to add too much salt because we're gonna be using the seasoning packets, and yeah. All right, so I'm gonna start dumping some of our veggies. My frying pan's a little too small, so I recommend to get a bigger one. I also already had some minced garlic in the pan, so it's just like got a little golden brown, so now I'm putting all my veggies in. Oh. I was looking for my mushrooms, they're right there. I like to keep them like intact, so it makes like that Instagram kind of like laid out ramen or mushrooms. So lay them flat in my pan. Oh yes, you can do this while you're doing it. I just get overwhelmed when I'm cooking, but you're gonna soft boil some eggs if you'd like. Unless you're vegan, they can like use another kind of vegetable. But yeah. I just added some sesame oil to the pan, and I'm just gonna wait for this to saute, get all like toasty, tasty, all that stuff going. So that'll take a minute. Keep an eye on your noodles so they don't boil over, because I've done that a couple times, but fingers crossed it won't happen today. So I like broth personally, but if you don't, you can strain your noodles all the way. But make sure if you do like broth, you save like I'd say I'm going to save about half of that water that's I'm using to boil the noodles, so that they're kind of like, it's a little bit more like frothy is not the right word, but it's a thicker broth. I don't know how to explain it. I also put a little bit of the seasoning like on the vegetables before I put the meat in, so that it's like cooked, so it's not like cut. Because I notice like whenever I get like other ramens, like it's very, if you add the meat later, it kind of like tastes kind of bland because it's like been boiled down. So I just like to put the seasoning like throughout the cooking process, but like if you don't like it as like strong, you definitely don't have to. As you can see, I've gotten things kind of like a little bit, they're really just brown. I'm not good at angles. Like, see how the mushrooms kind of have like some dark brown edges? It's just, yeah, it's good. It's tasty. And if you burn it, that's just smoky flavor. So I'm adding my beef now. Got my, looks pretty good so far. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna let them kind of sit there for like a minute so that they get like nice and brown on one side, then I'm gonna flip it, sear the other side. And that should be it for the meat. Now I'm moving on to the broth. I'm gonna use my other seasoning packet and I'm gonna put it into the broth itself. And then I will add the white part of the scallions and some onions, just white cut onions. They're actually in the fridge, so I need to grab that real quick. I turned the heat down to low so it'll cook the rest of the way while the pan's still hot. Then I'll work on the broth. The onions in my broth, or the scallions, the white scallion, white part of the scallion. I put onions in. The cabbage takes about 4 to 5 minutes, so you're gonna add that towards the end of your broth. And I guess while we're here, I'm gonna go ahead and just cut the soft-boiled eggs so that they're ready to put like in the bowls when we're ready to like plate or whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and add the broth back to my noodles. They're just kind of sitting down, cooling. So we're gonna go ahead, bring it all together, put the meat in. Hopefully it'll look pretty good. Right now, so excuse the dirty pans, we got all kinds of deliciousness going on in there. We're gonna let that marry for, I don't know, I like using fancy chef words. I don't know if marry's right. I think marry. We're gonna let it all get friendly for a minute or two, and then we're gonna taste it and see how it is. Now, once you get all your goodness into a bowl, I like to put like 2 halves of a soft-boiled egg on the top. Sprinkle, I already put some in, so you saw I'm cheating, but sprinkle some scallions on top. I like a lot. It's not the most beautiful thing, but it is definitely tasty. Add some RHA. Good amount. And that's all. Anyway, I hope you guys learned a little something. If you did not, at least you had fun watching me struggle. But yeah, I hope y'all have a great one. Shout out, our next installment of the speaker series is actually on nutrition health. So make sure you check that out. It's gonna, all the information is gonna be on our Wave link. It's gonna be April 6th at 7 p.m. We're working with the peer educators through Health Promotions on that. So really looking forward to that. Hope y'all have a great one. And yeah, see ya next time. Lots of good smells happening.